It's the 23rd of July, I believe, and going to Thirsk to see the accountant and pick up the box of invoices and things. And I'm allowed plenty of time, and you can see why, because it's school holidays now. I'm just going to adjust that sign. School holidays now, so there's cars dithering about all over. It's going to be hellish busy. I think I'll be very, very lucky to get in my free parking place, which is my preferred one anyway, because I don't like leaving cars in car parks. People hit you with doors and things. I wouldn't park in the marketplace. And my favourite place is by just after the Harriet Centre, which you can get to without going through the centre, you say. You can come in from the back, which is quite a good idea, really. Especially if you go down the A19, but I'm going the other way. I don't really know why, but I was actually more concerned, shall we say. What are they doing this lot? No, I see there's some shape. Oh, she's changed her mind. They're a pain in the ass. These sheep in here, they're so used to the traffic that you could say they're actually quite sort of streetwise, but they also, instead of just bombing across because they're a bit scared, they just dawdle about because they think people will stop for them. Well, they will normally. And these white-faced ones are worse than the others. They're more normal swales. It's a funny looking day. It was supposed to be light showers. Today, and it may well be later in the day. So I have brought my coat, so I don't suppose I'll need it. You never know though. Unusual to see a pile of logs up here. But there is a substantial plantation over there behind that, what's it called? Spawnton Lodge? Which I think they were planted in the sort of 30s, or, you know, so they're probably overdue for taking some out, because maybe that reason they're taking some out is because a lot fell over. And we had this problem at home with a plantation that's like over 100 years old. See, if you were so inclined, you could go bombing past these. But it's the sheep that's the problem. There's a lot of sheep. And you certainly don't want to eat a sheep, because apart from not wanting to kill the sheep, do your vehicle some damage. Even with a pickup, you could easily crack some plastic bumpers and things at the front. But obviously you don't want to kill a sheep at all. But there would be occasions where you might rather hit a sheep than hit something else, like an oncoming vehicle. I think in a way, like when there's a lot of sheep, it's almost better when there's just odd ones. There seems to be a lot at the moment. Jesus, they're making hard work of it though, this lot. Is that one in front? I think this is the slowest I've ever come down Blakey. I'm not bothered though, because I've got loads of time. It's 11:30. The appointment's at 1 o'clock, but I did hope to get there around about 12:30 at the latest, and I might just nip into town and go get some new potatoes. Or there's a few things I might do in the town before. It's a bit of an awkward time, I suppose. Really, you should have a sandwich or something before you go in. Damn it! I was going to bring. I had a bottle of water I bought a while ago, and I was going to bring it. Well, the Goofy Balls has gone up there to the car park, followed by, I think they're with them. I think that's two cars travelling together, which is not unusual. Unusual sheep. They said they've got sheep back on the village green again. Not them few aren't going to make much difference. See, back in the day, this used to be all open to the moor, and it was a daily task for the owner of the sheep or the shepherd to come along here and bring them all back, because they would trek off down towards Gavin Moorside. Because all of this side, this is all common. Hutton Common it's called, and it's basically part of the moor, essentially, right the way down to, well, it's unclear where it ends really. But now there's another cattle grid here. The original, this cattle grid was put in place so that the sheep couldn't keep going beyond here. But I don't really see the point of it, because it's not properly fenced off round below where that car park is. They can get round it down there. So anyway, then they got another category to keep the moor sheep out of the village, which I'm sure was better for the moor sheep really. But the village green, which used to be an absolute treasure really, with the sheep grazing about and sort of very short sward, but if you looked at it closely, it was full of little clovers and trefoils and thyme. It was a bit special really, but that's all just gone to hell. It's all just like a mouldy, trimmed grass, which it's an eyesore really. And of course they only cut some of it, where the sheep used to, well, I'd say, enjoy going down the steep banks and things. And of course stage 2 is you get like trees and things growing on all the little banks and areas that aren't trimmed or trimmed. Well, some people would approve of that, but really it's complete, what are you going to end up with? It's not a village green if it's covered in trees and all sorts. Junction. Well, we can go after this foreign car has gone by. Could have pushed out a bit sooner, but I'm not in any great rush today. I've got loads of time. I'm actually planning to dawdle at various points. I don't really quite know where. Actually, it's not even all that busy, this road. It's maybe we're past the peak busy. See, that would have been me waiting there. But it's a simple junction and you're only looking at two things rather than three or four. Normally I come to a curved motorside and dive in there, or the vet on the left. Because I need something or other nearly every month, either from there or from Russell. But I'll normally get in the winter I get like a proper pallet load order. There's a so-called land crab there for the Austin 1300 or something. There seems to be more bikes than I'd have expected travelling along here for a weekday, Wednesday. If it was like Friday, I'd be wondering if there was a bike rally or even racing at Scarborough or something. Because they have something about this time of year called Cock of the North or something at the Scarborough race circuit. Well, Rydale Show is the 29th. That's it. Oh, it said Duncan Park. So has Rydale Show changed venues then? Quite a pretty place, Halsey, but so stuffed with tourists, it's appalling. And all the shops are sort of tourist shops, or nearly all. I mean, there is a little co-op there. If you actually lived here, it'd be a nightmare to go for your shopping. You wouldn't want to, would you? You'd try and go somewhere else. There's a butcher's there. I think it has quite a good reputation. I've never stopped there. No. It's a bit out of the way, so it's maybe not so much of a touristy shop. Anyway, I'm going to turn this camera off now because I don't particularly want to charge it up. And this next section is kind of boring. Now this is starting to look a bit suspicious. Suddenly there's no traffic whatsoever. Oh, hang on, there's a lorry. Because I'm absolutely paranoid that they're going to get to Sutton Bank and there'll be an HGV stuck on the bed and you won't be able to go up or down. There was a space there for about a mile. There was no traffic in either direction, and the car just before me turned off for was. I thought, does he know? So what? Since a lot of the ash trees have got the dreaded dieback, you get a bit better view over the edge of here, but it's still not really what it was. It used to be a highlight of coming this road. You had a tremendous view over towards the Pennines. There isn't a view today anyway because it's quite very humid. I wouldn't really call it hazy, just a sort of mist, light mist. And this is the hairpin where lots of things get stuck, mainly coming up. Mainly are ticks, but not exclusively. Absolutely anything can get stuck. There's a ban on caravans. But it's a bit silly really, because if you had a caravan on this pickup with a 4-wheel drive, you're not going to get stuck. But if it's just on a normal car without 4-wheel drive, it doesn't take much to cause a problem. You might normally have got up there if you're a quite experienced caravan driver. But what happens if you get to that steep bit and there's some other hold up and you can't get set off again because it's really steep? You could burn your clutch out, or you could be spinning your tyres nearly to get started. It's a nightmare. Anything that's remotely big and heavy or towing. Just on the right here, which you probably can't see, there's like a bungalow, a huge shed and a couple of odd barns. That's where we used to live. I know I probably said this every time I come down here. We used to live there, and I used to walk to school from that road end there, though we actually used to go across the field and get over some rails in the corner there somewhere. I don't think you can do that now. Oh God, what's this you say? Another tractor, I bet. It's not harvest time, they're all carrying muck and things like that. We walk down here, which it's not really somewhere you'd really want your 5-year-old kid to walk to school along. And we used to go on our own. Obviously we got taken the first day or two. I mean, it's not very far, but can you imagine, we wouldn't do it now, would you? The traffic levels have increased exponentially and the vehicles have sort of got bigger. I think that's perhaps the key difference really. And then I went quite a long way through the village. I remember walking along the path on the left here, and sometimes it was icy. We used to go along making slides. The pub on the right seems to be still vacant. And then we used to go in to school. I don't think it was there. No. Probably there where that little junction is, I think. Yeah. Or was it? No. This one. You see, it's all quite complicated when you were only 5. We used to go in there, I think. Because, yeah, that wall there, the wonky wall, that's the playground wall. And I got in trouble for sitting on it or something, or standing on it. When Miss McMichael, or I think that was her name, she used to live here somewhere. It might not have been that very house, which was in this dip. So she was walking up to school and she saw me, stood on the wall, and I got in trouble for it. And I could hardly believe it. There was in 2005, there was like a flash flood came down that little stream and flooded her house. God knows how old she was. She must have been about 80, but she was flooded out, and she was like interviewed for the newspapers, and I don't remember seeing her on telly. I thought, my God, that's Miss McMichael, I think that was her name, who was our teacher at that school in about 1967. It was really quite extraordinary. And she, I mean, to be fair, she was probably quite young then, really, because primary school teachers, they were often women, and they were often quite young, single women. Not exclusively, but certainly, I guess she was only sort of 20 in her 20s or something then. He's going surprisingly slow. Oh, I see why. Got another hold up. Jesus, it's a nightmare, this road today. I thought I'd be there at 12:15. I'll be there in plenty of time. Apparently it's about 10 past already. The other side isn't even coming yet. Or rather, maybe they had their chance and they missed it. That's quite an old lorry at an edge. I think, oh, I see why though. It's a private reg, isn't it? WMS for W. Metcalf and Sons. So they transferred it to a newer lorry. Well, this looks like the sort of thing that might be done by afternoon. What are they doing? Digging a cable up or something? Oh, they are actually there working, you know, given their due. It isn't like sometimes where they have all this crap and they aren't even doing anything. I think what I'm going to do is take a right here, come in the back way, rather than go through the centre of the town. Because the queuing back to there, look. Then I can arrive at my favourite parking place, and if there isn't a place there, I can soon dive into the other place. Up here, the motorbike shop has finally been completed. I noticed it at Spring. On the right. God, I forget what they're called now. That tree badly wants cutting back, doesn't it? It'd be an absolute miracle if I can get parked in my free parking place.